Hello everyone, my name is Felicia Wright, the founder of Project Confetti Kids, and I wanted to talk about teaching kids how to self-regulate. So I thought about talking about this because a lot of the times I see it with family members, I see it with parents, and sometimes I fall into this pit of telling kids, or my kids really, why are you crying? Stop crying, like you're fine. And why are you so upset? And a lot of the times we do that as parents because we're tired, because we're with them every single day. But we have to remember that, especially at different stages, especially with my youngest, she's 3, they don't know how to self-regulate. They don't know that they can start doing things to help themselves calm down in extreme situations. And honestly, it's not even extreme. Most of the time, my 3-year-old, it could be the littlest thing of, I didn't give her a snack fast enough. Like littles, like they have trouble with that. But even older kids, they have trouble self-regulating sometimes when they get so frustrated. And what I want to say is, instead of telling them, well, stop doing that, why are you so upset, you shouldn't be that upset, like calm down, and comments like that, instead we need to tell them, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If they don't want to talk about it, okay, do you want to go somewhere quietly? Do you want to do something else? And a lot of the times, and this is my magic line, I use it with my kids and I use it in the classroom with other people's kids, and it works. Like, it works 99% of the time. So if a kid is so upset and screaming and yelling, I'm not a screamer and a yeller when it comes to kids, not even my own kids. That's just not a default of mine. I don't do that, mainly because I'm always working with other people's kids. So I know how to stay calm in those situations, which I understand sometimes parents, like, you get pushed over the edge. But my secret weapon is when they're yelling and screaming and stuff, I tell them, it's like, okay, why are you screaming at me? I'm not screaming at you, so you should not be screaming at me. And it like disarms them. I've used it so many times and it works almost every single time. It's like, look, I am not screaming at you, so don't scream at me. And it stops them in their tracks, because then they start to think differently. It's like, oh, I am screaming at you, but you're not screaming at me. Why am I doing that? And you can just see the pause, and then the wheels are going, and it just helps them come down. And then that's when you can start talking about different strategies, and in that moment help them with those different strategies. But also, that needs to be something that they default to on their own. Things that you say over and over and over again, or strategies that you use over and over and over again, like meditation. My youngest, she actually loves to meditate. Well, both of them actually, they love to meditate. They ask, they're like, hey, can I go sit somewhere quiet, or will you meditate with me? That helps them self-regulate. So they have all these coping skills. So in the thick of it, and when they're like, off the rails, whether it be crying, screaming, yelling, fighting, or whatever, they have that in their on their tool belt. And we have to help them remember to go back to that toolkit of things that they can do to self-regulate, because it's not going to be an overnight process. With kids, they're all at different developmental states, so we have to just remind them and be there for them as they grow. Because as they grow, if we do it enough and it's over and over and over again, they're just going to default to that, and that's super important. We want them to default to their tool belt. So when it comes to self-regulation, we're not like, hey, do this, do this, do this. It's an ongoing process of reminding them, like, hey, like, you could do this, you can do this. And when they're in the thick of it, use that line. I'm telling you, it works every time. You'd be surprised. But the only way that line works is if you're not yelling yourself. So just keep that in mind. But I'm telling you, if you use that line, come back and let me know, because it works like magic. So I hope you're having a great day. And I think once we all really start to help our kids, self-regulate their emotions and their actions, we'll start to see better behaviors across the board. It's just going to take some work and practice. So hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.